everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I wanted to been doing for a long time now-ish. And that video is tips and tricks in Bedwars. Basically meaning that like things you could do at Bedwars to get better at Bedwars. Now I'm 163 star, which is alright for some people. I think I'm a pretty decent player and know some good strategies. So yeah, I'm just gonna be sharing my thoughts on that today. Also, as I'm recording this, I'm at 280 subs and I'm only 20 away from 300. So it would mean the world if you press that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you are subscribed, then thank you so much for getting me to this point. Well, that's pretty much all I have for the intro, so let's get into the video. Alright, so we're here on Glacier, and I'm just going to be explaining some things you could do to just get better at Bedwars in general. So usually people rush on Bedwars, on this map at least. Most people rush these days, and that's probably what you should do, or else you're going to get rushed yourself. So what I recommend doing is I wait for 16 iron, which is I think a stack of blocks, and then 4 gold, and then I put wood on my defense, and I put wood on my bed. And so it's a little bit harder to break instead of just wool, because wool is really easy to break and you could probably break it before killing the person. So you could die right away, and that's not a good idea. So I recommend putting wood down since I don't know what you're gonna do with the rest of your gold. Now rushing someone, I recommend building up a little bit just so they don't get above you, because them getting above you is not what you want to happen. Then you could just start bridging over. Now on slow maps, I do not recommend getting tools. On fast map, I do recommend getting tools because it's better to have tools so you can break the bed and then kill them. But on slow maps like Glacier, don't get tools or else you're just gonna waste a bunch of your time. If they're on the edge like this, placing a bed defense down, just knock them off or kill them. Or you know, do that. The good thing with wood is that it takes the exact amount of time to die and respawn. Now I do recommend throwing your iron out or putting it in the chest before you go to kill them, because if you lose to the other person when you have that much stuff on you, then they get that stuff and then you lose the stuff. So that's also not a good thing to happen. So you kind of want to also try to kill them before they get super stacked, because then you won't be able to kill them as easily. Also, saving gold is good for saving up for iron armor, because iron armor is very important if someone has iron armor and you don't have iron armor, because then most likely you might lose unless they're really bad at the game and you're good at the game. So I'm gonna go toss this gold in the chest with the rest of my gold, so maybe I could buy some iron armor now. If you take out 2 teams right about now, you should have enough for iron armor. What I do is I always have 4 gold. I probably just buy TNT just in case. Also, you should probably get tools right after you rush the first team, so you just always have tools on you. It's just always good to have tools on you, you know? At this point in the game, I usually put another layer of wool down, just so it makes it a little bit harder for someone to break into it, especially if you have mining fatigue. Right about now, you should probably be bridging to your diamond gen if no one else is rushing you, because diamonds are a very important thing in Bedwars. Once you pick up your diamonds, there should be about 4 here. And since no one is rushing me, I recommend getting Prot, a trap, and heal pool. What Prot will do is make it harder for people to kill you. What heal pool will do is you regen faster at your base. And what mining fatigue will do, as I've mentioned before, is make it harder to break the bed defense. Although I don't have mining fatigue because it's my base. Having a lot of wool on you is always good to have, because it is terrible when you run out of wool. Especially if you're trying to go to mid and you know you don't have enough wool on you, just go back to your base, because if you get stuck at mid with 8 emeralds, you're screwed. Also, when no one else is rushing you, I do recommend going to mid, because then you can get stacked before someone else gets stacked. Or, you know, if you want to play it safe, just get obby. On Glacier, it's really easy to just jump across these middle parts right here. So you don't have to go over there or something. Just go right here. If you want to get the game over with quickly, I do recommend rushing other bases to try to get it over with quickly. But whenever I'm playing on Glacier, I do just go around and collecting M's if no one else is rushing me. Now, you do want to make sure that no one else is rushing you before you do this, because then if you're stuck at mid, and someone's rushing you and you can't get back to your base in time, you're just stuck at mid with no other place to go except for back to your base, where the person is. And you're most likely going to die because they're really stacked. So now that I have 8 Ms, I do recommend getting obby more than diamond armor, unless you're the last person, or not the last person, there's one more person left and they don't have a bed or something. There's 2 ways you could put obby down. You can either put TNT down and break it, but I put a layer of wool on my defense, so I just recommend putting obby down, as TNT with wool doesn't break the whole bed. You don't have to get nothing special with the axe, but I do recommend getting not wooden one so you could break it rather quickly. Because having someone rushing your base while you're placing obby down is not what you want to do. Now that I have prot, heal pool, and a trap, I want to try to get sharpness so when other people come to fight me, I can kill them easier than they can. So now I just about have enough for sharpness, so I'm gonna get that. I also have 9 gold, which is very good because you could buy an iron sword. And if you get sharpness, a sharp iron is like so OP. You can literally 2-shot people, I think, if they have no armor. So that's cool. I'm also gonna upgrade my tools a bit because I don't know what else to buy with my stuff. I still have quite a bit of stuff. I have 2 stacks of wool, so I think I'm pretty good to go. Now there's 2 teams left, and what I recommend doing here is just letting them fight while you get stacked. So then when the last team's left, you can just kill them super easily. Now do keep in mind that this is a very good map to do this on, but if you're on another map like Orbit or Siege, you might not want to do that. Lighthouse is probably the worst map to do it on because of how big it is and someone can easily rush your base while you're at mid. Glacier is a rather small map, so you can see if someone's rushing you and you could quickly get back to your base. As you can see, I have another 8 emeralds, which someone else could have easily gotten obby like that, and that's not something you want to deal with. So now that I already have obby, I recommend getting diamond armor, just because the flex. You can also get a diamond sword and a pearl, but I rather get diamond armor because, I don't know, I'm just like that. I'm also getting another trap because I don't know what else to do with the rest of my diamonds. You have 1 diamond left, I just throw it out. There's nothing really you could buy with it. Okay, now there's 1 person left, which is Aqua, so I'm just gonna go for them. Now Aqua is at red over here, and I don't think he sees me that I'm going here, so I'm gonna go to his base because I have obby and he is closer, I believe. But since I have obby, I feel more comfortable just going to rush him and then maybe voiding. So that's what I'm gonna do. Once again, I do recommend just building up instead of building flat and then building up, just because it's more accessible and easier. He's most likely gonna build to my base from red or blue. But since he's not doing that yet and I just broke his bed, I'm not gonna void and I'm just gonna go back to my base. Also, I should probably mention what voiding is if you don't know. What voiding is basically when someone's coming to your base and you're on the other side of the map, you could just jump in the void and kill yourself so you can respawn at your base. Now, if you have a lot of stuff on you when this is happening, I recommend putting it all in a chest before you do this. So you might want to watch out about that so you don't lose all your stuff. And what happened? He fell in the void. Okay, well, Bed Wars. Alright, well, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. This was just a short little video on things you could do to get better at Bed Wars. Another thing I recommend doing is just one little small thing that you can do or you can't do, it doesn't really matter, is when you're switching from a stone sword to an iron sword, you could just throw the sword out, and then when you buy the iron sword, it will automatically go into the slot of your sword. As if you don't throw the sword out, the iron sword will just go in your inventory and then you have to change it around, which is just a bit slower, but not by much. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. So thank you everybody for watching, and goodbye.